Bingo, bango. We in here. We ain't there like swimwear. All right, y'all. We're getting started with this week's, the first official March Ask Me Anything Talkadot edition. Now, for those of you who have never been on one of the AMAs, the way these are set up is the whole point of these is to get any questions that you have about how to use the software, how to use the tool. You have a speaking engagement coming up. Any curiosity that you have, this is the place to get those particular questions answered. So that's why we have these every single week. You never have to premise anything that we're saying, any of your questions with, you've probably answered this already, or this is a stupid question, or this is the whole point of this, right? So like, there's no stupid questions. Ask anything you want. If I can't answer it, I'll be very honest with you. But if I can, I'll absolutely do my best. So if you have any curiosities, or if you want to leverage the power of this group, there's a lot of smarter people in this group than myself. If you have a specific question, all I want you to do is use the reaction feature that says raise your hand. And when you raise your hand, it'll create a queue of questions. And we'll go through each one of those questions as best we possibly can. And we'll have a really good time. Some people join these sessions because you have a very, very specific question that you want to ask. Other people join this because they just want to keep their ear to the ground and know, like, what are questions people asking? What's happening? I want to keep my finger on the pulse of what's happening in the speaking industry. And this is the way that I do that. So whether you're here with a question or here just to absorb, this is all for you. This is all about getting your specific questions answered. So we're going to jump into that. Before we jump into that officially, I just want to make sure everyone here knows about this new feature that we just launched, because it's super, super important. So let me pull up my account. Boop, doop. Okay, let me share my screen. Admit those people, share my screen. Okay, great. Okay, you can all see my screen. Yes? Thumbs up? Wonderful. Make sure you click on your face and then you go to account settings right here and you scroll down
Really?
to where.
Hold on a second. I'm just, hold on.
Yep. You there, Barbara? Are you talking to us?
I apologize, Errol. I'm just signing on. Proceed.
Okay, cool. All right. Just want to make sure everyone's caught up. All right, so you go to your settings, and there's this new feature right here called email campaign settings. These are all turned off for you right here. I recommend turning these on. If you are a Talkadot Pro user, this is a feature for you. If you're not a Talkadot Pro user, this feature alone is worth the upgrade, because what will happen is that for your booking lead, you will have an email that gets automatically sent to them after your event saying, hey, thanks so much. Like, let me know if you want to meet about booking. I'd love to talk to you about potentially booking me to speak. For your email opt-ins, they'll get an email saying, thanks so much for attending my presentation. Here's the bonus that I promised you. The booking lead gets the bonus as well. But now when someone gives you feedback on Talkadot, not only do they get the bonus served up to them at the end of the feedback flow, they also get the bonus emailed to them, but you've got to turn that feature on. And then for your referral leads, we've got the ability for you to send an email saying, hey, thanks so much for giving me your feedback. You said you wanted to refer me to someone. Please tell me more about what you had in mind. I'd love to hear about it, okay? So those are all there and set up for you. So if you're Talkadot Pro, all you've got to do is turn those on, and then you guarantee that you never have to ever ask a question on an AMA. I never reached out to my booking leads. What do I do? Or I never emailed my folks. What do I do? You guarantee an email goes to them. Now, typically, the number one question people should have about this is, can I customize that initial message? And the answer is, eventually. We wanted to get this programmed and set up now so you can start using it. We are building out the functionality for you to be able to do that in the future. So yes, you'll be able to do that in the future. No, you won't be able to do it right now. So I recommend turning it on just to get a touch point right now in. If you do not want to do that and you've got your own system and you're like, I got my touch points, I know how to follow up with my email leads, my booking leads, my referral leads, keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. But for everyone else, this is to ensure that everyone at least gets one touch point from you. And this will almost guarantee that if you do this every time you speak, you will book more speaking engagements, which I'm really, really excited about. So I wanted to make sure all of you know about that feature. Question, is there a way for us to see what the bonus email looks like? Yeah, exactly. So if you want to see what the language looks like, right here where it says actions, click view email template, and then you'll see exactly what the email will look like. Okay. So if you have a book, excuse me, a Calendly, a you can book me Calendly. If you have a calendar link, this link will serve up. If you don't have a calendar link, this email will not serve up in your post-event follow-up. If you have a bonus, they will get the bonus, right? So you'll see here. Also wanted to make sure you can access my bonus. I promise you can access it here, and we will provide the link for them to get access to your bonus, okay? If you have your Talkadot profile public, you'll also be able to see the person's most recent speaking engagements as well. If you do not have a bonus, this PS part will not show up. So if you want to see what the language is, you can see it right here. If you have bonuses, the bonus will show up. If you don't have the bonus, that message will not show up. So just for clarity, it's a good question. Other questions about that? Is this one email only, not a series? How do we add our calendar link? Yes, so this is one email only. It is not a series. If you go to your meeting link where it says configure options right here, where it says meeting link, this is where you would want to go ahead and post it. Was there a question that came in? Nope. Okay. So yeah, it's one email. If you have Zapier, right? Like, yeah, I don't want to like. I'll tell y'all because y'all are here. We are literally releasing our Zapier integration like super soon. We are currently submitting it to Zapier for them to approve. We've been testing it, making sure it works. It's been working really great for all of our beta users. So I think Michelle was asking about Zapier. We will have a Zapier integration into Talkadot, so you can do move things over automatically and do whatever language you want to do automatically without having to download and upload it. But for now, I would recommend keeping this turned on personally to ensure that as you set up your sequences, first email. Now, just as a reminder, the first email comes from one of our email addresses. It's what's called a system generated email. So it comes from like admin@talkadot.com as an example. I don't think it actually is that email. I think it's something else. If you reply to the email, it will reply to your email address. So if anyone does reply to the email to ask a question, it will go directly to you, not to us. So you'll be able to get any information that someone may want to send via email. So that first, so imagine like if you sent a contract through DocuSign and then DocuSign sends you emails reminding you like, hey, make sure to sign this contract. You didn't sign this contract. That's a system generated email. Our system is the same thing. So it comes from us through our system, but it pushes your content and it helps you. So I would recommend turning that on. All pro users, you've got access to that right now. If you're a light user, honestly, it's a no-brainer to upgrade for just that reason alone, but obviously do whatever you think is best. All right, let's jump into the questions. We're gonna go with Star. What's up, Star?
Awesome. Hey, so I have 2 engagements this week, and it'll be my first time using you guys, so I'm so excited. I know, thank you. I can't wait. I always get so awkward whenever I have to do the pitch. I'm always like, take the survey. It's very weird, but I'm gonna do my best. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah. But I wanted to find out. So I use Infusionsoft or Keep. I know they've rebranded. And I know that I had emailed out saying that I definitely wanted to take part in the integration. In the meantime, whoever signs up, how does this go for me if I want to add them to my list and have them get my automatic email delivering the freebie and all of that and get into my welcome sequence?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So here's what you would do as a first of all, welcome.
Thank you.
Super happy to have you here. Super
Thank
happy.
you.
I
I'm
actually
from
didn't know
Jess, by the way.
Infusionsoft. What's that?
I'm actually from Jess, by the way.
Oh, Jess Ekstrom?
Yeah, no, Jess R.
Jess R. What's the
Radskel?
last?
Radskel?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Does she go by Jess R now?
No, I just say R because I get awkward
Oh.
with her last name.
I've always said her last name is Razdale. So
Radskel,
you're now. Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
love Jess. She's
amazing.
absolutely amazing. The most purple-haired, awesome human in the world.
Fabulous human, yes.
So here's what you would do for now until that Zapier integration comes out. When you do your speaking engagement, everyone who identifies as a booking lead will go here in the booking category. Everyone who identifies as a referral lead, meaning I want to introduce you to someone, will go here. And everyone, which includes referrals and booking leads that give you their email, will go into the email opt-in. What you can do is just click on select all and then click download leads. If you're selected email opt-in, it'll download all of your emails as a CSV. If you select referrals and hit download leads, it'll download all of your referral leads. And if you hit booking and hit download leads, it'll download all your bookings. So what I recommend doing now is downloading the CSV file and then manually uploading it into Keep, which I didn't know Infusionsoft changed their name. So thank you for telling me that. So then you would just upload them and then you can tag them appropriately. So if you have a sequence that's for all of your booking leads, make sure to tag them as a booking lead. And then everybody, I assume, will eventually get onto your newsletter. So just make sure they're tagged appropriately, whether they're booking and newsletter leads. And then that's all you have to do.
And is there a way to define the period of time? Because obviously I don't want to if I have 3 engagements in a month, I don't want to keep adding the same people over and over again. So is there a way to define the dates a little tighter?
Yeah. So if you go, this is going to be your home screen. When you first log in, you're going to pop here, right? So when your speaking engagements come in, you can also go to that exact speaking engagement and click on the actions button and then put download leads right here. And it'll download all of the leads just for that speaking engagement. So all of the emails. So if you want to say, hey, I want to upload, let's say you have A, B, C, those are your 3 different talks. I want to upload all the folks from A, you can go here and do it. I want to upload all the folks from B, you can go here and do it, and all the folks from C. So you have 2 options of how you can pull the data in, whichever's easier.
Got it. And then I'm so glad that I'm here today because I wouldn't have thought that I needed to create a speaking engagement. So this is fantastic. So is there a different QR code then for each engagement that you would do that would be slightly different, or it's always the same URL?
Yeah, great question. So there's 2 ways that you can do it. It depends on what your particular workflow is. Now, for clarity, some people like to add a new speaking engagement ahead of time before they do their speaking, right? Which we recommend doing. Now, if you don't add it ahead of time, it's not the end of the world. Your data is just going to come in like this. It'll come in on the date of the presentation. You'll just have to click add details after the data comes in. So I just wanted to make sure you had that clarity. Are you doing the same presentation to 3 different audiences?
Correct.
So then no, you don't have to use a new slide. You download the slide once and then just show it to them, and our system will separate it based upon date.
Awesome. Oh my God, I love you guys more all the time. I couldn't be more excited to do these gigs and be like, you're making my life easier. So thank you. And I can't wait for the integration. So I appreciate you all doing your magical things for us.
Yeah, happy to do so. And the first time someone tees up Talkadot, there's always that angst of is it going to be needy or self-serving? Make sure, the only advice I would give is make sure to make it about them. Hey, I want to give you access to this cool thing. Your feedback allows me to impact more people. Take 2 minutes to do that now. As long as that's the frame, it'll always be welcomed, and you'll get the data right away, and you can share it with your host, share it with your audience if you so choose. So I'm super excited to see how it all goes for you.
Thank you. Me too. I really am so grateful. Thank you.
All right. And if you see Jessica, tell her I say hello.
I will.
All right. Take care.
You too.
Dr. Alexander.
Hello. Okay,
What's
so I
up?
have one clarifying question, one question, and one comment. So clarifying question, you said in the automated emails that you can turn on, if you do not have your Calendly, that sentence will not show up. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay.
That is correct. Yes, that is
Question, if I do the automated and then I have my system set up, I usually send them an email after the conference has ended. So do you suggest, because I know you have really good suggestions for when to send. So do you suggest letting the automated one go and then still sending them the email after the conference ends?
Yeah, I would
Immediately
personally.
after?
Because I think of it all as touch points, right? Because there are going to be
Right.
some people that need 2, 3, 4 touch points before it goes. Let me take a step back. I always think of it from my perspective. I am good-willed and good-intentioned 99.999% of the time, but sometimes I need reminders. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to book Dr. Alexander, but you know what? My to-do list is 75 things long. I got 457 unread emails. So it's important to me, but I forget it. So the more touch points you can have, and especially ours is a little bit more immediate, and then yours will come in as well. I think it won't hurt. And then you want to track to see, Over time, ideally, do people come in on the first touch point, the fourth touch point, the fifth, and then you can start creating systems to know. I personally don't freak out until the fifth touch point because I expect 0 to 5 to be like warm up touch points. So you might have a different flow than me. So I recommend turning it on personally and then measuring.
Okay, beautiful. And then my last comment is, I
Mhm.
would really like when you go to the leads, how referral and lead is broken down,
Mhm.
that the archive will also be broken down in that way. So that way I
Mm.
can know who was an actual lead archive and who was an actual referral archived. Because if you archive them, they all go in one, and then I'm like, I don't know who was a lead and I don't know who was
Yep.
a referral. So, and I try to archive them once I've once I have them, so I can only have the new ones. So that's just a
Yes.
suggestion that
Yeah,
will
I'm
help
I'm
me out. I
making a
don't have to
note.
help anybody else out.
Yeah, I'm making a note of that archive
And
to.
that's it for me. Thank you so much.
Okay. Was that you said you had a clarifying question, a question, and a comment. Did you get all of those?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm
Thank
trying
you.
to go quickly.
I got that documented. I'm gonna send it to my dev team. Thanks so
Thank
much.
you.
All right. And
Hi, well, it's been a while. How are you?
so good to see you. So good to see you.
Good to see you too. All right.
Those of you
Actually,
who don't know, we've got an Oscar nominated sister. I just like to throw it out there. I'm as excited for you, for your sister. Anyway.
oh, thank you. Yeah, my sister is Oscar nominated for the movie Nimona. See, she produced it. You can find it for free on YouTube now. They put it on YouTube.
Oh, nice.
Netflix did.
My
And the
kids were a big
Oscars
fan of the
are,
movie.
oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, and the Oscars are this Sunday, March 10th. So if you're watching, cross your fingers for Nimona.
Here we go. We'll
Yeah,
do.
that's my plug. Yeah.
Well, what's your question? I'm sorry to get off track here.
No, that's okay. I'll like hype up my sister any day. So you just give me an opening and it's over. I have 3 questions, and one is about Talkadot functionality, and then I have 2 speaker questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm also happy to ask the first one and then give the floor to Barbara and then come back.
No, go ahead.
Okay, no, Barbara, I can go. Okay, thanks, Barbara. For Talkadot, I just want to make sure I understand this. So when I'm looking at the attendee testimonials and I click, do you want me to show my screen so I can
Yes.
show? Okay, let me show my screen and then, okay, is everyone seeing my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is my most recent Talkadot report. So when I go to attendee testimonials and click view all, and I won't scroll down all the way because I don't, some of them shouldn't be seen because I think once there's no star here, like the ones at the bottom, those are the ones that people said I couldn't share, correct?
So scroll all the way. So the ones that are grayed out are the ones that you're not allowed to share. Those are all the way at the bottom. So
Okay.
the stars just mean you can click on the star and bring them to the top of your report. But if you go all the way, like all the way,
I'm like going, but I'm trying not to show it because I know this will be on YouTube.
I mean, if you don't want, don't unshare your
we're
screen.
almost there. We're
I'll show
almost
you
there. We're almost there.
I'll
Folks,
show
we're getting
mine.
there. Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So
Like once it's grayed out.
the ones that are grayed are the ones you don't have a permission to share. So anything that's above, so all of the ones you can't share are at the bottom and grayed out. All the ones you can share are black text. And if you click on the 3 dots, if you can't share, it'll say sharing is not enabled. If it does give you the chance to share, that means that they've given you permission and it's all good.
Okay, got it. So if I click on this, view download shareable testimonial. Okay. And
if you
when I use
go down to the other ones, it won't let you do that.
I'm going to do it offline just so. Yeah, you're right. Okay. Okay. Got it. Sharing permission not granted. Cool. That's good to know. And then I can, if I star them, that means that they'll appear at the top.
That's right. So you had like 100 testimonials, right?
Yeah.
You may want to take, because we only put the first 10 or 12. There might be like the 150th one was a really good one. So you can star that one. And if you do the star functionality, it'll move it from in the bottom of the report to the top.
Yeah.
And then if you ever want to remove it, you unstar it and it'll put it back to where it was. So you can, nothing's permanent. You can move around. So if you want to like kind of curate the best representation of that presentation, you have the ability to do so with the star function.
Okay, but I can't reorder, like I have to click them to star them in the order I want them to appear, right? Right
That's
now,
correct.
I can't
That's
reorder them.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are we gonna be able to reorder them at some point?
No one has ever asked that until just now, so let me write that down.
Yay!
So like drag the testimonials
Yeah.
into the
Yeah, drag
Yeah.
them around because with the amount, and this was an amazing response that response rate that I got, but with so many, I'm starting to lose track and I like have to keep scrolling to find the one that I want.
Yep.
And then the next question I have related to this is if I know that I can download a testimonial individually, but sometimes I try to put them on the same image because then I can fit more. And
Yep.
so I'll star a couple and then see if they fit. But I was actually wondering if I could just star a whole bunch and then have a button and it just creates the testimonial images for me.
Yeah, so right now we don't have a functionality like that, but we have been experimenting with an idea of kind of like a testimonial
Yeah.
like wall of love, if you will. Like here's like click, 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 click. These are my favorite, and then downloading those as one, a big image, but also like imagine going to like your page and it's kind of like this
Okay.
endless scroll of testimonials. So we don't have that. We're playing around with how to do like something cool with that though.
Okay. Okay, cool. That would just help me because I try to put everything on LinkedIn after I do it. So I have to go there and like sit and make all the little images. And then for
Yeah.
attendee feedback, I realize now that I can download a shareable testimonial from there, but the
Yes.
attendee feedbacks all have to be individual, right? Because if
Right now, yes, that's correct.
right now, yes. Okay. Is that
Mhm.
also changing as well?
Yeah, so we're looking forward
Okay.
to so that you can do multiple stars and then kind of have like a little image download. So we're doing some UX updates. You're gonna see some UX
Yeah.
updates in the next couple of weeks. That'll be pretty it will not mess with the functionality of it, but it'll be pretty robust. So we're hoping to have some stuff like that involved in it as well.
Okay, cool. No, thank
Yeah.
you. And if I have one more question about functionality, if I wanted to,
Mhm.
is there any way that I could like download all of these into like a spreadsheet or a text file?
Mhm.
I can. Do I just
So
copy, like select all?
no, go to
No.
do you want to share your screen?
I sure
Can I
can.
share?
Give me 1 second.
Yep. Mhm.
And I hope this is okay for everybody else to ask these questions, but I really like Talkadot and I want to use it as much as possible and like really leverage it. So,
Mhm. Click on the logo or the home button,
here we go.
then scroll
Okay.
down to your recent talk. That one
Okay.
right there.
This
So
one?
you see where it says actions? Go
Oh,
download
yeah. Okay.
testimonials. Yep. And
Okay.
then it'll throw everything into a CSV file for you right there.
And by everything, is that attendee feedback, testimonials, like everything?
Mhm.
Okay, I did not know about
And then
that.
you'll
Thank
be
you.
able to sort them and do whatever kind of spreadsheet stuff you want to do with them from there as well.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out after
Mhm.
this.
Yeah, and
Awesome.
play with it. If you have any questions about the download after you download it, feel free to like jump back in and let me know.
Okay, we'll do. And then, so those are my Talkadot questions. And Barbara, thank you because I can see you nodding when I'm asking, so I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I have a question about. I had this idea. It was actually suggested to me by Phil M. Jones, and I've been thinking about it for the college market. And the idea was that to have sort of like a one, I don't know if I'm going to describe this correctly, but like something on my website where it's just a list of my workshops and people can just swipe a credit card and purchase a workshop. There's rules around it. It's hosted on my Zoom. It has up to this many participants. There are like, there's no discussions. Do you know what I mean? On like what the content is. It's a generic workshop. We agree on a time and a date. Do you know what I mean? Like you're allowed to invite so many people. They hop on, we do the workshop, it's over. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't have that like back and forth of like, this is what my event is. It's just like a plug and play. And my concept was, could I get maybe company sponsors to purchase something like this for a college group? But I also know that sometimes it's really difficult to get students to show up to things that aren't mandatory. I know I was like that as a student. So I'm wondering if it's worth the investment of my time. And I hope I'm explaining this correctly to like have this as an option, or is it sort of just like wasted effort?
So I cannot give you any like direct feedback in terms of it's a good idea or a bad idea because I don't know anyone who's done it. That's why. So I have not I've not done it. So I don't know if that's a sign that it's not a good idea or if it's a sign that it needs to be done. But Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't be like, yeah, go do that. That's a solid idea. Or, no, don't do that. It's a bad idea. I generally, in kind of the service-based business that we're in, cracking the code of how to get people to immediately transact without all the back and forth and that. We'd love to help solve that with Talkadot one day, but right now I don't. If anyone else has feedback, if they've ever done this and have been successful, like I'd be more than happy to yield the floor to them. But unfortunately, I just don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to think about it. Thank you for thank you for giving me your honest opinion. I'm going to think
Yeah.
about it. And if I do it, I'll keep you posted if it goes well.
Yeah, no, seriously, keep me posted on it. You know, like again, the simple answer is like, if they've done it, find someone who's done it and been successful. And if anyone hasn't done it, it's just a matter of like why, and you know, so there's a lot of questions there. So like, if you do it and have success, come on back and tell us.
I
Come on
will.
back.
Okay. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
All right, thanks, Ann. All right, Barbara.
Okay, Annie, I'm a CUNY graduate, so years
Oh, no
ago.
way. That's awesome.
I just
Shout
saw
out
you.
to New York City in the house.
Anyway, extra credit could, who, I don't know your market, so I just thought of it. I used to be an adjunct. So, the students will do anything for extra credit, right? So that's one thought. Anyway, my two questions are, I created a speaking engagement for March, for the 3rd, created it ahead of time, but when people went into the Talkadot, it created a new event rather than that event. I don't know why. And then 2 stragglers did it afterwards. So I know the event that I could merge, but I don't know why it didn't create the original Talkadot didn't go into the original time slot. That's the first question.
Okay. Did you already merge your accounts by chance?
Not yet, no.
Okay. Do you mind sharing your screen so I can take a look at it? If you prefer not to, that's okay.
Okay.
What I can do is make a note to go into your account after this and try to see if I can find out what went wrong. So I'd have to see it. So nothing immediately goes why that happened for your account, but if I look in, I might see something. So I'm happy to look into it and try to like bug it.
No, I apologize. I just because I didn't realize it was going on YouTube, then I would hold back in sharing. That's why.
No worries. No worries.
And then if someone can get back to me, because I have another event on Wednesday coming up that I want to use it at. And then I wrote my questions down so I wouldn't forget. Where do I asking to share? So when I did it, I don't remember them. I don't remember asking if I can share their comments in the queue.
It does. So I'll show you where it does that. Let me share my screen. So there's 2 places where we ask for permission. Place number 1 is right in the beginning when they put in their name and email. It says, yes, please keep me updated. So if they unclick it, then they won't get added to your email list. If they keep it clicked, they will. So that's permission number 1. And then permission number 2 is right here. So on the last question, it says, anything else we should know? It says, I consent to have my feedback shared publicly. If they unclick that, then you won't be able to get any of their information as shareable, but you'll privately be able to see it. So those are the 2 places where they get it.
You show me on the back end one that's shareable and what's not shareable, because I'm looking at the screen and I'm not seeing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let
me go. Let me see if I could go here. Let's see. Okay, great. So do you see these right here? So if I click here and I go to download shareable testimonial, it'll let me do it in the system, no problem. But you see this one right here is grayed out. So it looks a little different than that one. If I click on this, it says sharing permission not granted. You see that? So if you're not seeing that, that means everyone gave you permission. If you do see that, that means that you won't. And if I go to view testimonial data, if the person did not give me, like this person gave me permission to view it, so I could click on it and see it. But if they didn't, it would say that that was disabled as well.
Perfect. And then a comment we were talking about when you download the Talkadot image, putting I think it's, can you look at, show your screen again as I'm
Yeah, of
speaking?
course. Yeah, of course.
Show us how to get to that image again. And
Yeah, so if you want to download any individual one, you just click on these three dots and go to download shareable testimonial. And
so
then you just click the blue download button. Yeah.
okay, and then you create your own, you cannot, it would be great if it was connected to Canva, so you could create a carousel with all of these.
Yeah, for sure. That definitely, like, helping people do more with this is definitely on our roadmap in the future. Right now, that would be a Canva specific activity. What you can do though is where it says share this report. If you click download testimonials, it'll take the first 2 or 3 and put them onto
Oh.
one image. So you would just do that from the share this report function. So if there's like, oh, you know what, I want to take, it's usually better for shorter testimonials, in my personal opinion. So, if I wanted to do like this one, and this one, I could probably fit all 3 of them onto one. But if I did like a longer one, like this one, and then tried to do it, it probably only fit 1 or 2. Let's see. Yeah, it'll fit 2. So the shorter ones, you can add a little bit more.
Terrific. And then this is just kind of like a, I guess, a business model. Is it better to send them out like the next day? Immediately?
When you say send them out, what's the them?
Do social post on.
I do them day of personally. And the reason I do them day of is more of a logistics process. Like after I speak and I go to my hotel, I'm far more likely to do it right then and there than if I do it the next day. So to my opinion, there's no strategic benefit of doing it day of versus the next day. I think just doing it is the most important thing. So if you're like, hey, I go back to my hotel, I do it. Or if you're like, no, I want to come back and then go through all my logistics, and that's one of my steps, I think it's personal preference at that point, but not one is more advantageous than the other.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I'll make sure to get back to you on the date situation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Michelle.
Am I unmuted? I think I've been unmuted this whole time. Luckily, I haven't been saying anything weird. Okay. Right. And congratulations to your sister. I love my sister. So sister stuff is awesome.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to send her this video and be like, watch it. We talked about you.
All right. Okay. 2 things. One, is there a slide for the profile, the collective? You know how we have that
The public profile. Not
pardon?
yet.
Not yet.
You're talking about the public profile where everything
yes,
comes
the
together.
public profile where they can get the cumulative of all the awesomeness.
Yeah. So for anyone who's like, wait, what did you just say, Michelle? Hold on.
Okay.
So if you click here and then go to your public profile, what your public profile does is takes all of your data from all of your speaking engagements and puts them into one report. So this is the total amount of feedback I've been given, and my total scores, my total attributes, and then it's got a list of all of the presentations that I've given here. So right now you would have to screenshot this old school way. We don't have the share this report download button just yet.
Okay. Perfect. And second, what you just went over with Barbara, how I think you were unstarring some of the testimonials so you can get them on one slide. Okay. Yeah. I just had like a mind bend right now. It's like the spoon doesn't exist kind of thing. Can you do that again? And
yes,
when
absolutely.
you take off the stars, can you put them back or so? How did that work?
100%. Yeah. Let me pull up one of my,
Thank you, Barbara.
Yeah. I just realized my charger was not plugged into my laptop and I almost went bye-bye. I just plugged in. We're good to go. So let's go here. Okay. So if you want to, let me unstar these here. Okay. So if you want to star anything, you just click star and it'll move it to the top. Actually, let me do a different talk that's got more. That was a small training I did. Let's do this one right here. Okay. So what you'll notice is on the top, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? So I have about 12 that show up on the front facing part. But if I click view all, there's a whole bunch of them here, right? So maybe I want to take life changing and bring it to the front of my report. So if you look right here, the life changing, those two words, isn't currently on this data report. So when I click view all and go to life changing and hit the star, it now brings it to the top of my report right here. So I can star all of my, favorite ones. I like that. Just, I'm not reading these, but this is good. This is good. That's good. And you can see they're all moved to the top. So I can kind of curate. These are the best testimonials that I would like to kind of represent this. And then when I share this, when I go to share this report and put copy report link, I'll open an incognito window and hit share. You'll see that like life changing is now on the top of my report, where normally that would be buried in and they'd have to click view all and scroll all the way to the bottom to be able to get it. So I often believe that like if I do a presentation with like 100 people, 200 people, no one's probably going to sit there and read every single testimonial, right? Like it's not, I mean, they might, but I don't think so. So the ones that you put on the top here, these are the ones you want to represent you. And if you go, no, I don't like this one, you can always just unclick it and then it'll remove it back to the bottom where it was. And I can unclick here and it'll remove them back to where they are. So I can click on them, do whatever I want. And if I ever want to clump a couple of testimonials onto one shareable image, let's say like this one here, I just go to share this report and then go to download testimonials, and it'll take the as much space as it can and put it on. So this is really good, in my opinion, as I was saying, for shorter testimonials. So let's say like this one and this one, like these three are pretty short. So I can go download testimonials and then all three of them will be on one image versus just one testimonial on one image. Yeah, happy to break that down. This is why we do these sessions. We want to make sure you know how to use the tool. So I appreciate you asking that. Cool. Was that all you had, Michelle? Okay, awesome. Let me go into the chat before I go to you, Anne. I saw some questions pop in. Scott asks, I recently integrated Talkadot with Zoho CRM and campaigns with Zoho Flow. Got this step-by-step from SpeakerFlow. Wonderful. Is there a way to push previously collected leads into the CRM automatically, or do you need to manually move the previous collected? So Scott, that's a great question. That would probably be more of a SpeakerFlow question than a Talkadot question. My assumption, and again, the Zoho integrations, outside of the fact that the webhook exists and it pushes it, how it all looks on the back end is a little outside of my expertise, but you can ask Taylor or Austin that. My guess is you would have to manually do it and upload it for anything in the past, and then moving forward, it would take care of it all. But that's just a guess. I don't fully know.
I see a note here from Ken that says they can help you. They can go grab those. That'd be awesome. I'm just trying to make sure I got the flow right. And if I did, if I can automate it, then it's already in there to kind of square it away. Okay, that's good. Can I ask a quick, somebody may have asked this, I think I came on as you were talking about the new edition of the one email follow-ups, which is awesome. Yes. Is there any way to customize those templates at this time?
Yeah, great question. So right now, no, it's system generated. That's on the docket for us to do for you. We just wanted to get it out now so that people could start benefiting from it. And then we're going to add that as a V2 to the V1. So the answer is yes, just not yet.
All right, cool. Thank you so much.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for asking questions, Scott. Cool. I'm gonna see if there's any other questions in the chat. Just talk about all the way to search social media into space. Answered that. Answered. Okay, Heidi wants to connect with you on LinkedIn. Do that. Frederick, connect with him. He's good. He's good peoples. I think I got everything in the chat. Okay, great. Ann, what's up?
I'm back. I have another question. A friend asked me this and I wasn't sure how to answer it. So I thought I'd ask you, have you ever worked or with like companies that say that they'll generate speaking leads for you. There are a bunch of them out there. They're pretty expensive to start. Do you know what I mean? Like a couple $1,000s. I've never worked with one personally, and I was curious if you or anyone in the room has, and if it was a good or a bad experience.
Yeah, I would open that up to the room. So I haven't personally worked with like, hey, we're gonna like generate leads for you. So I can't give any personal. Does anyone have any experience with that they want to unmute and kind of jump in? Like, have you
I'll just
paid
say be
someone to
very,
find
very,
leads?
very, 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 very careful.
Can you add more detail to that?
Sure. You know, and if you're familiar with Innovation Women, that's a great
Yes.
group.
Yes,
So
I'm
I
a
would,
member.
okay, so
Yeah.
Bobby has my speaker leads. Do you get those?
I do not get my speaker leagues, and this was not something I was thinking of. It was a friend of mine who was thinking about doing, and she just asked for my advice, and I said, I honestly have no experience with them.
So my speaker leads is pretty good. You get a list of 100 people every Monday.
Okay.
And it's conferences. So it's a research company that researches, you know, so let's say the Chiropractors Association of Texas, they're having a conference.
Okay.
So researcher goes in there and they find that link, and then they put down the contact information, that sort of stuff. That stuff is very good and pretty legit. There's other people who say that they will do outbound calls. You just have to be sure you want to have your name attached to somebody who maybe is not representing you in a great way. You just want to be really, really cautious about that. I would say the best place to get speaker leads is in your own network.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you, Diane.
someone's showing it now. Someone's showing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the My Speaker Leads, we love Bobby Carlton and Innovation Women. For those of you who don't know, you get a month of My Speaker Leads for free as a Talkadot Pro member. So if you've not taken advantage of that, you should, because you'd get at least 400 leads. So what they do, as I was showing on my screen, is they do the research and find out, like, is it a call for speakers or a direct outreach? They give you the name of the person, the email of the person, the phone number, the title, the company name, the website, the industry that they're in, the next event URL, the next event date, the next event URL, the call for speaker deadline, call for speaker URL, and then what this event is about, right? So they give you a lot of like, and then where it physically is. So My Speaker Leads will share it to you, but it's up to you to go do something with it, right? And I think what you're talking about is like a company that's like, hey, we'll go out on your behalf. So I think that's a slight but important distinction between My Speaker Leads and like other agencies. Does anyone else have any experience with
So it's different than a
working with these
speakers.
folks?
So it's different than a speakers bureau, and
Yes.
speakers bureaus tend to work with celebrities. And the reality is that I've been solicited several times by speaker bureaus. I won't name them, because what they do is they say, gee, Diane, can you give me 2 to 3 references? Sure, I give them references. They solicit them, the references, to use the bureau. They're not necessarily looking for me to become a speaker on their panel, on their list. So you got to be pretty careful with them.
Jeez Louise, I never even
I
thought
know.
about that.
Oh
That's
yeah,
wild.
it's happened twice, Ariel. It's happened twice.
Oh my gosh.
Brand name,
You know,
I mean, brand name people.
It never amazes me when people do a hustle, that like
I
the
know.
hustles get just smarter and smarter. Jeez Louise. Well, thank you for sharing that. If anyone else has any experience working with like folks you pay, so like a lot of bureaus, from my understanding, and again, I don't work with bureaus, so I can't speak directly to their practices, but my understanding with bureaus is you don't pay them a fee. They take a percentage of what they book for you. Whereas the agents, in this case, you pay them an upfront fee, and then they go ahead and find them for you. So I don't have experience with it. Like I think that'd be a great question to post in a Facebook group, the Talkadot Facebook group, and see if people have. But unfortunately, I haven't, so I can't give any information on that.
Okay. Well, this was a really helpful discussion regardless. So thanks, Sorrel, and thank you, Diane, because that was really good information. I'm going to send my friend my speaker leagues, and I'm probably going to sign up myself and then go from there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and make sure to use the if you don't have it, I'll send it to you. For all Talkadot Pro users, you can get a month for free. So see what it's like. Make sure you like it. Sign up for My Speaker Leads. We love Bobby. We love Innovation Women. We think they do great work. A question said, Barbara said, is the image a JPEG? The image is a PNG, Barbara. So it's download it as a PNG file. It's a little more higher quality than JPEGs typically. Ken says if you contact support, they can do it. They did it for me. Ken, what are you referring? Oh, what did you say, Ken?
That was referring to Scott's question about speaker flow. When I signed up for speaker flow, they went back and retroactively put it on my Talkadot stuff.
Yeah. So they're awesome guys. Big beards, big hearts. Goes hand in hand. Yeah, so Janice pointed out the problem with Innovation Women is that many of the leads are unpaid, right? So with that Excel spreadsheet, I would always mentally look at those as business development opportunities. There's a good chance that some of them are paid, but I think the large majority of it is I want to get in front of this group of people because I believe that if I was in front of this audience, the people in the audience would book me to pay. Which again goes back to biz development versus keynote for a fee. So there's a percentage of events, I would say 4 in a year is a great number. You should be doing at least 4 business development speaking engagements a year. And this isn't my friend wants me to come speak at his like daughter's quinceañera for free. That's not a business development, right? That's like you're donating your time and services for a friend, but you're not gonna like, don't let them make you believe, nah, you don't know, there's some people in that backyard might be real connected. So that's not, you're doing that as a donation for a friend or for a local nonprofit. That's not for biz dev. Biz dev is I'm speaking to a group of people and they may be paying me nothing or paying for my travel or paying like giving me admission or giving me sponsorship in exchange for speaking, but basically you're not making money from it at the moment, so you can make money from it later, right? And biz dev, I recommend if you could do 3 to 4 a year, you'll have a full calendar every single year. You know, I still do biz development talks because until you're a celebrity where you don't do anything and all the leads come to you, you've got to make sure you're doing things to like keep things going. And I think biz dev talks, I could speak to a room full of 200 people, you know, maybe 50 of them will be interested in booking me, maybe 10 of them will book me. But if I do that 4 times a year, fills my calendar, and then you get your repeat bookings. It's a good strategy. Okay. Are you planning a getting started session anytime soon? We do onboarding. So Janice asked, are you planning a getting started session anytime soon? If that's like an onboarding session, we do those every single week. So if you go to talkadot.com, you'll see I'll just pull it up here. So if anyone has a friend that you want to tell about Talkadot and you're like, yo, I want them to like, or you're new and you're like, I want to get started. If you just go to talkadot.com and you scroll all the way to the bottom of our page, this is when we have our live onboarding. So I've got one today in about 40 minutes. And then our Ask Me Anything schedule is also here as well. So if anybody ever wants to jump on any of those, just register. Those are free. And we'll show you how to use the tool, answer any questions about the functionality of the tool itself. So happy to have you on that and support. H Chance said, how do you join my speaker leads? So when you registered, you got an email with a promo code for it. If you want the promo code for the My Speaker Leads, just send an email to hello@talkadot.com asking for the My Speaker Leads promo code, and we'll send you the code. We update that code ever so often so people can't like use an old one and like share it out. So if you want to get the My Speaker Leads, go ahead and send that email and we'll make sure to get you the most current promo code. And you can sign up, and then you just go to myspeakerleads.com and sign up, which is, I'll throw that into the chat. In the chat. I didn't put the HTTP. Oh, yeah. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Let's see. I see some more stuff in the chat here. Star said, how do you recommend using Talkadot data after engagements? You have a training for this already. And how can we get My Speaker Leads free members Talkadot? Okay, cool. So I answered your second question. You can just send an email. We'll get you the promo code. You go to My Speaker Leads, sign up. Using your Talkadot data after engagements, there's a few specific things you can do. Number one, post on social media. Hey, I just spoke at company X. They brought me in to speak about Y. It was such a great experience and they got to learn some really great strategies on Z. And here's what the audience had to say. I'm so grateful for it. So you want to post your social media images into social media, right? So like I like LinkedIn, but I think putting it on all of your social media is important. And just for clarity for our new folks that are here, when I say social media images, you click download shareable report, and click to download. So this is your data. And then I like to take one or two, of my favorite testimonials and post those, right? So I post it on social media. The next thing that I do is I email this report to my client. So I go to share this report, I go to copy report link, and I email them the link as well as this image with one or two of my favorite testimonials embedded into the email, right? And I go to my client and I say, thanks so much for bringing me in. I wanted to make sure you had the data report. Look, 100% said they want to hear me speak again. If we can ever do another program, I would love to do so because clearly this is something that resonated really well with your audience, right? So I send that to my client. Then I do what's called land and expand. This is a little more proactive. So the example I give, because it's just, it's public, which is cool, is you find one group that's similar. So I spoke for the WSAE, which is the Washington Society of Association Executives. I took my data report and then I reached out to the Florida Society of Association Executives, and I shared my data report with them, and then they booked me to speak. And then actually, I've never searched this, but let me see. GSAE. Let me see if there's a public thing. So then I reached out to the Georgia Society of Association Executives. You'll probably see that there's a pattern here. And they booked me to speak for their, that's coming up later this month in May, right? So I call it land and expand, right? So I land one group and then I use that data to reach out to similar groups with them. So I would use your reports to say, hey, accounting company, I spoke to an accounting company like this. I'd love to bring this to you. Or hey, insurance company, I spoke to an insurance company like this. I'd love to bring this group to you. So you take your data reports as part of your outreach campaign, and that'll help bring some folks in. So those are some like basic things to do with your data after your Talkstar. Okay, I'm looking for more questions in the chat. If you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. If we have time, I wanted to share a quick Talkadot victory this week. Yes, Ken, we have time.
I had my first experience with a bait and switch this last
What
week.
happened?
They negotiated a lower fee for me, but in return, they told me, hey, you can sell from the stage. So I had a completely different thing set up at the end. And then 3 days prior, I get an email saying, hey, we've talked to our legal department and they said that we can't sell anything at this. So thinking, what am I going to do? So I get there and I said, is it okay if I put a QR code up there for feedback for me? Sure, that's fine. And in the course of doing that, I said, and then if they want to know about my products, that way I can collect. And they said, oh no, that's fine. You can do that. So from that, I was able to sell 3 packages just off of Talkadot. And those were those were $9.97 packages.
Yeah.
And then also booked 3 full pay speaking engagements just from that last week.
Can the crowd go crazy for Ken right now? This is what we're talking about.
Talkadot.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother. Making apparently barbecue dreams come true and speaking dreams come true. Dude, honestly, Ken, I just love to hear those things. Like, this is why we're so excited about Talkadot. We want to create this experience where folks like you who have good messages can do more good work. So, dude, thank you for sharing. Generally, like, I get goosebumps when I hear this kind of stuff. I think it's amazing. You the man. You the man. Give Ken some love, y'all. All righty. Let's do some more of these questions in the chat. Are you embedding, Sylvia asked, are you embedding the actual image or including in the email as attachment? I'm embedding it, Sylvia. Like, so like, let me find a email so I can show you what it looks like. So there's no questions. link. Put it in the email. Have the email. Where'd you go? There it is. Oh, not that one. That has some sensitive information. Hold on. I gotta find an email that didn't have sensitive information in it. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. I got you. I want to share this with you. Hold on. Okay, this one I think is fine. Okay. Share. Okay, sorry for that setup there. I just wanted to share a good one without giving away anyone's personal information. That would have been mad at me for doing it. Okay, so in the email, it's like, yo, thanks so much for having me to speak. Here's the report to see all the data. Here's, what people had to say. Here's some testimonials on what people had to say. I'd love to do another talk. This is really great. Let's do that. Click here to see the full report link again. So that's kind of how I do it. It's all like, it's an image, it's a link, it's an image, and it's an image. I don't like to do them as attachments if I don't have to. Like sometimes I might do it from my phone and I just want to get it out. So if I do it from my phone, I have to do it as an attachment, but I prefer to do it from my desktop and embed it in. I think it's just visually more, it guarantees they at least see it, because sometimes people might not click on a link or might not click on attachments, or firewalls might not let attachments go. So there's 1,000 things there. So Sylvia, if I were you, I would embed it into the actual email itself.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And said, also, thank you, Talkadot, for posting my post about Talkadot feedback. Thank you for posting about that. Yeah. Cool. All right. All right, y'all. I think we are at the time. This is great. Also, to clarify on your question, Janice, about the SAEs, that is definitely business development. If they pay, wonderful. That's gravy. But you're speaking to get in front of associations, because all associations have annual conferences. All annual conferences need speakers. So I want them to need me. So it's definitely great to get in front of those people. But they may pay you a low fee. They may pay you a decent fee. They may pay you no fee. Like, each one is built a little bit different. But nonetheless, thank you all for being here. I love doing these sessions. I love staying connected to all of you. I love all of your questions. This is how we continue to get the feedback to grow, to get better. So grateful for every single one of you. If you are part of NSA, the National Speakers Association, and you're going to Thrive, make sure to say hi to Marissa from our team. She's going to be there wearing Talkadot swag, so make sure to find her, say hello to her. If you are going to the NSA conference as well, make sure you tell your NSA friends about Talkadot. And we have that vacation giveaway that we're doing just for NSA members. So make sure that you tell them about it, and then every person you tell, you get an additional entry to win that all expense paid trip to the Ventura County coast. And for everyone else, if you got a speaker friend that's not on Talkadot, could you please tell them to get on Talkadot? We try to grow here. Y'all the best people to do so. So if you got some friends and you're like, yo, you're speaking, I know you're speaking, you're not using Talkadot, you're tripping. Tell them to stop tripping. What word would be tripping in today's youth? I don't know. I can't speak today's youth vernacular. Tripping that's like a 1990s 2000 term. I've just dated myself.
I'll ask my son.
Ask your son, like, first of all, you're gonna say, what's the equivalent of tripping? And he's gonna be like, what's tripping mean? And you're gonna be like, how do I explain tripping?
Closest I can get is cray cray.
Yeah.
Cray cray. But I feel like cray cray is not, that's like older. That's still not.
Oh, I got one. What about Delulu? I hear that a lot. People say it like delusional. Delulu.
I've not heard that word.
I'm not a hip person. So I don't know, but I'm trying.
Well, listen, you said Delulu, so you already cooler than I am. Let's just put it like that. Okay. I'm gonna try to use that in a sentence, and it's either gonna go really good or really bad. I'll let you know. Like, stop being so. It's like when you say, I know Riz is a new word. Y'all know the word Riz? That's
Right.
a word.
That's a new one.
So instead of charisma, you say, oh, that person's got a lot of Riz. This is going in a weird direction. I'm gonna end now. I'll see y'all later. Thanks for joining.